Uh, I don't know how to start videos. Hi, I'm RG. I used to be called RG Dude. I guess I took the dude out of my name so that I could have the possibility of being female so that I could better seduce people to sell me life potions. But I think I've just given myself away. Anyway, I was gonna make a YouTube channel and I've been trying to for, that's not true. I've been thinking about it for a while without actually doing it, and I thought maybe it would be a good idea to segue into it with the dawn of me being a white star. And as you can see, that has not happened. I got impatient. I wanted to talk about this transfer from Deca to Realm, and I guess also introduce myself, although I don't know how much that matters. So, hey, I'm RG. I play on US Northwest. I've been playing for about 4 years. I'm the leader of a guild called Refrigerator, and that was made to mock derivation because I'm pretty sure they just chose that name by picking a word out of a hat. So I did the same thing. I think Refrigerator sounds a lot better personally. So I'm in EU North 2 right now trying to level up a rogue, which is a pretty good sign that I've not reached White Star because I'm very bad at rogue. And I just wanted to do this, have a little gameplay in the background, but mostly talk about my thoughts about this transfer of realm, which I think for the most part is going to be a great thing. I mean, we all know that Kabam has not done very much with the game recently, and the stuff that they have done in sort of the near past has been crappy, like the introduction of ST items. If you want to argue with me about that, I will tear you down because ST items are horrible, and that's final, and I could talk for days about that. But what I do want to talk about is the difference between a lack of updates and an abundance of horrible updates, which is a possibility, and that's why I'm wary but also excited about this new Deca transfer because if they did nothing with the game, I mean, hell, I'm still playing. People are still playing. It's obviously, oh, there we go. Let's get into Beholder. It's obviously a game that is still attractive to some people, and I think that them doing nothing would be a whole lot better than them just fucking the game up. And there are ways in which they can do that. I can talk about that. But overall, I think, I mean, if they're going to address hacking, thank God. If they're going to introduce new content, great, as long as it's like decent. And I guess the determiner of that is does it keep with the spirit of the game? And that's kind of abstract. So what I'm trying to say is like, I don't know, I've been playing not as long as some people, but I've been playing for a while. I was there with amulets and when tombs were like uncharted territory. Like I've been there and I know at least to an extent like what this game is supposed to be. And Deca, of course, their whole thing is well they've been longtime admirers of Realm, and I appreciate that and that's great. But if you look at Deca, they were founded very recently. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the people that are in Deca like Realm a lot, but Deca as an entity, as a corporation, has not been around for that long. So I just don't want them to come in with the idea of Realm that what Realm is this place where you can buy ST items by sneaking into your parents' room and stealing your mom's credit card and playing the Alchemist 40 times. Like that's not the spirit of Realm. And another thing is, if they're making fixes, I don't want them to do it the way Kabam has been doing it in the past. And I think there are two ways to solve a problem. One is to solve the problem. One is to avoid the problem. So let's talk about avoiding the problem. Think about the cursed amulet of zombification. Well, okay, somehow they made it so, or people, exploiters if you will, made it so that those amulets could somehow resurrect you just like the previous amulets of resurrection and cursed amulets of resurrection could. So Kabam looks at this and they say, okay, well this is a problem. Obviously, it's not consistent with normal gameplay the way we want it. So do they add in more code to fix it? No, they just make it so that it disappears as soon as you leave the dungeon. And that's not getting the root of the problem, that's avoiding the problem. And granted, I'm not a coder, I don't know how this works. I could be very naive, but I'm pretty sure some level of redundancy in coding would fix that. Like, not only do you have a line of code that says, okay, the amulet doesn't resurrect, but you have another line of code that checks that it didn't resurrect you. It's like if you have laws, people, I mean, the majority of people will follow those laws, but if you don't have police officers, it doesn't actually matter what the laws are because people that don't want to follow them won't. You can't just assume that the law is going to prevent every single person from not doing the thing you don't want them to do. You need to have some other mechanism to deter that, and that's kind of a silly metaphor, but I think it rings home for me. Another example is with the whole fame exploit with the lowlands gods, like the ogre god or whatever. People were getting them to spawn their minions and just killing the minions so that if you get a large enough congregation of these lowlands gods, it would make it so that you could get a lot of fame really quickly. And I better get a damn good roll. Hold on. 740 minus 112 is what? Oh, yeah, this is fine. Okay, yes. Oh, the first try. Oh, I got a good roll at the first try. Oh my god. That never happens. Alright, anyway. Did they make it? Or did they address hacking? Because at the root of that problem was hacking. I mean, people were no-clipping through the walls of the Cyclops castle and what have you. No, they just made it so that those same enemies didn't give fame, and at least they made it so that the gods themselves gave more fame, but it wasn't enough. So that's the wrong way to solve a problem. The right way is to find a problem and get to the very root of it, the core of the problem, and then do something about it. And if Deca can do that, and sorry, I'm just trying to drink all these potions now. If Deca can do that, then they're golden, and I already like them a whole bunch. So that's what I have to say about that. Also, regarding new content, first of all, I think they should focus on cheaters and hackers and multi-boxers or whatever first. Because that's going to be, I mean, that's a serious issue and it makes the game, I mean, virtually unplayable for some people. I've learned to work around it, but it sucks. I mean, I hate that there are so many people that want to cheat. And by the way, if you cheat, think about it. What you're doing is altering the game so that it is easier for you in some way. And I understand that the game, honestly, it's really hard. I mean, even if I take a break for like a month or something and I come back, like, this game needs still. Oh, what am I? I'm trying to drink these potions on a 7-8. That's not what I meant to do. This game requires skills. Like, you can get rusty and you can die, and like, you die all the time in this game. But that's part of the game. And if you are so committed to making it easier for yourself that you are going to fundamentally change the way the game works, why are you playing Realm? If you don't like how often your character dies and you want to add an auto nexus threshold at 30% or something, why don't you play a game where you don't die so much? Or if you don't like that your bullets can't regularly shoot through walls to get the shatters switch or whatever, why don't you find a game where your bullets can shoot through walls? Like, I don't know, like a realistic first-person shooter or something, I'm sure. I mean, if you shoot a bullet through drywall, it's going to go through. So that's a little off topic because that's addressing the hackers themselves. But bottom line is that Deca needs to address hacking in general. And after they do that, people are talking about new content. I think new content is great, but there's also, I think, a correct and an incorrect way to go about new content. And yes, I'm just digging around in the lowlands because I can't teleport yet. Adding new content is not about adding a bunch of special themed sets that you can buy for real money and just sell for like boatloads of life potions. I don't think that's what it's about. And I don't even think it's about like adding a new tier, like a tier 13 weapon or something, because truthfully, that would unbalance the current untiered items in the game and make some of them virtually useless. I mean, something like the jug is always going to be amazing. I mean, unless you got like a tier 12 helm or something, but like, I don't know, if you have a tiered sword that does more damage than a demon blade, who's ever going to use a demon blade? Like, I think it has a purpose. And also, the game doesn't need to be any easier. I mean, we have pets for God's sake. So I think new content should come in the form of dungeons that possibly drop potions that are a little scarce right now, and I'm mainly thinking about mana because if you do the math, there's an equal number of ways to get a mana potion in the entire life cycle of a realm as there are to get a life potion, and I think that life potions should be rarer. So adding another place to get a mana potion would be good, possibly even attack just because there are several locations. I'm standing in one if I could ever find an unturned tombstone, which I can't. But, I mean, attack is, I think, a little overpriced right now, which basically just hints to its scarcity. There we go, Snake Pit. I'd call to my guild member, but yeah, I should have called to him. Whatever. So that's what I would suggest. And new untiered items are great. I mean, if you want to have balance, then I would make it so that every class has 2 untiered abilities, because right now a lot of them do, but some of them don't. I mean, if you want to count Necromancers having 3 with the cracked Crystal Skull, you can, but not enough people play Necromancer anyway. So, bottom line is, I don't want to see a gigantic influx of new content. I want to see small doses of quality content that doesn't interrupt other aspects of the game, and also bottom line is I want to see cheaters have a very hard time. I want to see somehow the ability to auto nexus turned off, and I just want to see tombstones everywhere. I don't even care. If it's going to disrupt the game a little bit, it's going to be better in the long run. I don't even care. So, yeah, I mean, I talk a lot. I'm long-winded. Sue me. That's my opinion about Deca, and I think the fact that I mean, we just had this short blackout or whatever, it's really good that they're actually going in and addressing an issue. And I mean, whether or not they fixed it is a whole other bag of can of worms, excuse me. And hopefully they did, but that's that's I think what needs to be the first thing, and not just like banning unnamed accounts or something to fix multi-boxing. Like again, that's not the root of the problem. Like I want to see some, I don't know, line of code that'll make it so that a bunch of characters that are moving in unison in the exact same place for a certain period of time are all kicked. Like, again, I'm not a video game coder. I could be completely naive with how challenging that is to achieve, but it doesn't sound like it'd be that hard. So if we can just get on that, I don't know. So I'm probably going to wrap this video up. Tell me if anyone actually watches this, tell me in the comments what you want to see. I'm thinking about PPE videos because those are lots of fun. There are probably going to be a couple rants like this one. Maybe some just like general, I don't know, gameplay commentary, Skype with the guild or something. I never forget, I'm assuming. Hi. Um, I'll give him a smiley face. I'm in a good mood. So yeah, comment if you want. Tell me I am horrible because you won't hurt my feelings. Tell me I'm great because maybe you'll make me feel good. Tell me what you want to see. Like, subscribe, don't, whatever. Hope you have a good day. See ya.